If you hang around me any length of time, you'll hear things that sounds like a preacher, and you'll hear things that sounds like that too. The pimp thing, just in the way I talk. And lucky for me, the pimps and the preachers have the same wardrobe. So I can go to church or I can go stand on the corner and turn somebody out.
Born in Tupelo, Mississippi, Paul Thorn was raised by the same spirits and some of the very same people who matured a young Elvis generations ago. Paul still lives in Tupelo and is writing and recording some of the most emotionally restless music of our time.
As we sit there eating chicken, it hits me like a truck. I don't like how folks I love.
People mean well, but sometimes you have to, pepper spray people in the eyes. It's just part of life,
Now Paul is telling us another layer of his fascinating history. His 9th album, Pimps and Preachers, paints an intriguing family portrait. His father, a Church of God Pentecostal minister. His uncle, a pimp, with the street as his employer.
Me and my uncle and my father have a very deep history together. And so I had the church upbringing, and then I got to hang out with my pimp uncle, who taught me a lot about the dark side of life, and actually prepared me for what I'm now doing out in the broader world. As different as they are, pimps and preachers, they do have similarities, and one of the obvious ones to me is they both have tremendous people skills. My father go out and invite people to church, or go out to the cafe and see somebody sitting there and say, where you go to church? And they say, oh, I don't go to church no more. And they say, he'll give them a little card and say, come on to church and be with us. Pimp does a similar thing, except only difference is when you go to church, they charge you 10% of your net income, which is a lot. But if you want to get in the church of the pimp, you got to give 100% of the gross, and that's a big old hit. In the pimp world, they have something called the 33rd and the 53rd. The 33rd is what's happening right now, and the 53rd is what's gonna be happening down the road.
Daddy had a Cadillac, my Uncle Joe a Ford. One was Satan's angel and one worked for the Lord. They had some hard-earned wisdom, they both became my teachers. I was a young disciple of Pimps and Preachers.
Paul created his own album cover for this release, depicting a teeming street scene at the intersection of Redemption Lane and Turnout Boulevard. That's Paul.
The school of life was open. Each day I went to class. When I didn't pay attention, they kicked me in the ass. They were turning out young bitches and converting unbelievers. I was learning from the masters, pimps and preachers. One jerked me through the darkness, one led me to the light. One showed me how to love, one taught me how to fight.
As I look back, even though I was a nationally ranked boxer at one time, and got to fight Roberto Duran, and everybody who's familiar with me knows that story, but the reason I boxed, which was a very frightening thing to do, I had 50 fights and I was scared every time I went in the ring. I didn't box because I loved to box. I boxed because he had me turned out. I wasn't doing it for me, I was doing it for him. I was doing it to win his approval. And I'm thinking about starting a religion myself where, and it's called Pimps and Preachers. And to be a member of my church, you only have to come once a year, and that's when I visit your town to perform. You come to the show, you buy the $15 or $20 ticket, and then at the end of the show, you give me a $20 love offering, and I give you a free CD. And think about it, all them other Sundays you can just sleep in and be blessed. You coming in? You gonna be let into this world?
And I owe a debt of gratitude to pimps and preachers.
every single year since I've been doing this, my audience has grown just a little, my record sales have grown just a little, and it's never stopped. So at the end of the day at Syria, it appears as if it's all about the dollar, don't it? You know, a lot of people, they say, Paul, what's it like on the road? How do y'all travel? Well, we travel well. This is a very nice van that we travel in. Everybody's got their own bench to sleep in. And since my name's on the CD, I get to inhabit the artist lounge back here, where my bunk is like 6 inches wider than everybody else's. This is where I come back to, you know, relax and just have some me time away from the band. In the floorboard, I've got a lot of stuff that fans have given me on this trip. We've been out for a week-long run, and one of my fans that knows I collect TV show lunchboxes gave me this Mickey Mouse Club lunchbox from the 50s or 60s. It's got a thing here, you can put your picture, you can glue your picture onto it and put your name and address. It's just pretty nice. My fans are good to me. They gave me a little bank. It says I'm saving up to be a rock star. That's pretty cool. I got this blanket I got at the world's largest flea market, and I use this when I get a little drowsy, which I'm kind of getting right now. And so anyway, it's been a joy and a privilege having y'all. But I'm fixing, this is how it looks when I get ready. First thing I do is I lay down like this, and then I make sure I get the cover down there all the way. My feet get cold, you know. And then I do this right here. And this is it. And this is what you call living a good life. Good night.